So, collective, a lot of us are on different parts of our spiritual journey. Okay? So, there are a lot of people that are closing out cycles. There are people that are walking into their new beginnings. Um, but right now, we are all in some sort of season. Okay? And I'm here to tell you to trust the process, to trust God, the Most High, Spirit, however you resonate in spirituality, and even if you're in religion, okay, God. A lot of time we go through these seasons of lack. But that is because, okay, we have to let go of the old things, our old life, especially when you are going through a transformation, okay? So, I got a couple cards. I didn't get a chance to get to these cards, actually, because I was so long-winded in my last message. But I figured I would just make a separate video. And so it says, don't lose sight of this truth. You came here to evolve and grow. It is necessary to experience the difficult times. That is when you will grow the most. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Be proud of your journey. So although this spiritual journey is intense, especially if you have a high calling on your life, okay? Because one thing I learned along this journey is that, how do I want to put it? The more pain and suffering you went through and that you experienced, the higher your calling is. Okay? And so although in the beginning things feel like punishment because he reveals the hearts of people around you, it seems like he snatches everything away from you that you loved. You lose all kind of materialistic shit. You lose money. You lose jobs. A lot of time God removes us out of that atmosphere and puts us somewhere else. And we are like going through a period of lack. But what I need you guys to understand is that this is the refining period. Okay? With the spiritual journey, the biggest test that you're going to have is patience. And this is the reason why a lot of people turn to the fucking devil. Because they don't want to go through these seasons. Okay? But it is mandatory to go through these seasons because the blessings, your destiny, your birthright for things that you are destined for, you have to be the version of you that can hold that shit. And he's not going to give this stuff to you prematurely. You have to be the correct version of you that can hold these blessings, especially when it comes to money. Okay? And people don't want to wait. And sometimes the patience can be long. It can be grueling. It could be, you know what I'm saying? People don't like to be alone. And so people take the shortcut. But again, when you sign in a deal with the devil, yes, he's selling you a beautiful illusion. Because the thing of it is, in the beginning, you get all these things that you ask for, money, cars, house, materialistic shit. You get all that stuff really fast. But you are unhealed. You are still operating in your addictions. You are still operating in your childhood trauma and your childhood wounding. You know what I'm saying? Your thought patterns and your thought process is outdated. And what happens is when you sign a deal with the devil, you end up spiraling out. And them type of things. You're not learning discernment. You're not learning to trust yourself or your intuition. So now you are relying on outside sources. And that's going to fuck you up every time. But when you get by yourself, Not only are you getting to know your own energy, but you are not around people, you are not around outside influences, and God wants you by yourself so that you can learn to trust him and to trust yourself. You are feeling somewhat confused by the events that are unfolding around you and the various seemingly contradictory information that are coming your way. Trust your instincts and do what they are telling you to do, and you will learn a lot about yourself and the direction you want your life to take. What did I just say? You know what I'm saying? We have to kill that old version of ourselves. Because you got to remember, we're coming up out the matrix. We were programmed to think a certain way. We were programmed to live a certain way. We adapted patterns and shit from our parents, the people that groomed us and put us in this mind state. When you get by yourself, you're learning the new version. Well, really, you're learning who you were all along without the 3D programming in the matrix. So it is very important that you sit with yourself and you get with yourself. And then things will be a lot more clear. And a lot of times shit ain't gonna make sense in the beginning. But this is a reason why you have to trust the process, and you have to have that little mustard seed of faith to know that everything is going to work out. Because as you continue to walk, in the beginning, everything is confusing and ugly. But as you walk, things will be revealed to you as you heal. Because you got to be a version of you that can take a lot of the shit too when God is revealing these things to you. Especially if you have a high ranking in the spirit. Or if you're an earth angel or starseed, a chosen one. Because we went through some horrendous things, and a lot of things that happened. We know about a lot of shit that was done. But there are some things that God is just not going to reveal because you're simply not ready for it. Okay? But he'll reveal it to you when it's time. Find ways to fill your cup. Be self-full. Follow your heart and always trust your intuition. Go deep within, find your triggers, and address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself. So again, we pour into other people more than we pour into ourselves. And that's how we get drained. That's how we get burnt out. That's how we end up in relationships with narcissists and sociopaths and people of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not trusting ourselves. And then a lot of time, our intuition will nudge us and our discernment will nudge us, but we'll ignore it. So at this time, when you do start this spiritual journey, a lot of it has to do with healing. You're learning a lesson with boundaries. You're learning a lesson with self-worth. And if you're on the twin flame journey, this is especially important because you have to learn to not look outside of yourself for the love that you are looking for. A lot of time when we are operating in low vibrational energy, my friend, we are attracting low vibrational people. But when you get by yourself and you ascend and you work on yourself, you nurture yourself, you love yourself, you spend time by yourself, you ground, you know what I'm saying? You find new things that make you happy. You work through your triggers and you do your shadow work and you ascend and you raise your vibration, you're going to knock a lot of that shit out the box. And you won't be attracting any of that stuff anymore. And I'm going to tell you, just with me, I don't get no low vibrational shit that come my way. I'm going to tell you something. My inbox be quiet. It be motherfucking crickets. But there was a time, because I was low vibrational, okay, where it was all kind of niggas and people in my inbox. Ain't nobody fucking with me. But it's because they're watching me and they know that I'm on my motherfucking mission and I'm about my motherfucking business. I'm not playing no games with nobody no more. And so what you do is when you ascend and you raise your vibration, you push all that shit out. It can't even survive in your energy field at that time. So just stay the course and trust the process no matter what it looks like. Okay? I love you.